I'm a warrior.
Wonder Woman is back. They shooting. They tougher than the dudes.
I think it's happening more and more that women are taking over all the action movies.
What do you think you're doing?
The audience likes it.
No.
I would not want to get in a fight with those girls. They're very scary.
It's nice to switch everything around and be hung up 60 feet in the air and just kind of go, whoa, how did I get here?
It's so much fun to get to be someone who's way cooler than you will ever be in real life. There's nothing better.
In effect, women are the perfect warriors. They're small, thin, fast, and they're light, which equals to speed. How is it possible for this little girl to beat up this big guy? Well, you know what? If you train hard enough and you're talented enough and you just got that love for what you're doing, you could beat anything. It's just the way it is.
You've got these two women who have this incredible arsenal of martial arts and gun control, and you've got someone as beautiful as Miller and as minxy and sexy as Jill. It's just a great dynamic.
Who the fuck are you? I love martial arts. I love to feel powerful in that sense. Who doesn't? And I definitely have a talent with violent objects, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's my Yugoslavian background. I'm like always ready for battle. That barbarian thing coming back from the abyss of my DNA.
Try to hit him in the head. I think I'm definitely very independent-minded. I've always done my own thing and supported myself and gone against what other people thought I should have done and stuck to my own path. So in a way, I'm probably as pig-headed as Jill.
I'll take care of it myself.
I enjoyed working with the girls, and especially the look they had with all their guns and all that, and doing scenes that before it was only done by men. And I think it's a great image that they're putting out there to tell the guys, look, we can do it too. We can kick, we can do all those stunts and fire at the same time. And I think that's the fun part of it.
So take off! To do a great action film, people are more mystified by women. It's like, what is she thinking? How did she get here? With a man, it's kind of all obvious. It's all out in the open. Women hide things.
Every instinct in your body asks you to be polite to women, let them be first. And here there are these two very beautiful, sexy women who kick butt just as much, if not more, than your character does. Women are right there with the men. They become action heroes.
It's really liberating, actually, to have such a kind of sexy outfit. In most films, I'm like, no, don't dress her up sexy, because then she can't be sexy. You know, being sexy is not about looking sexy, it's a quality. It's not a look, but actually, it kind of works. You know, you watch playback and it's like, who's that fox? Oh yeah, the hair's great, and the makeup's great, and the costume's great. Oh my god, I'm inside that thing. Great, moving it around like a little toy.
Part of the appeal of the game is how sexy the girls are, right? In the first movie, it was like the battle of how do we get Alice to look sexy? Because in reality, if she was just wearing a security uniform, nobody wants to go see that unless it's like an independent film from like Afghanistan. You know, I want to be sexy. I don't want to be like this mean-looking, crazy, buff woman. Like, woman? Really? Kind of thing. I suggested that Raccoon City is going through a heat wave.
Massive at 92 degrees.
And it's not just me. How do we get Jill Valentine in her typical mini skirt and tube top? Heat wave in Raccoon City. Thank you very much. Of course, now it's November in Toronto, and most of our scenes happen outside, so of course, can't change now.
The glamour and fun of playing a character like Jill. You've got this girl in a little tight top and a mini skirt. She's cool and she's sexy and she's fun and she's met. I told you shoot for the head.
Sienna's been also like, you know, watching the game, and so she has a few of the things that like the girl in the game does. Like when she waits, like she'll do this thing with her hip when she's waiting for a zombie.
The Jill Valentine character does this thing when she's on weight. She's got the gun by her side and the hand on the hip, and you've gone off to make a cup of tea, and she's like, are you going to finish the game or what? You gonna play with me? Come on. And I love that wiggle. It's just like, she's a girly girl. She's a sexy little minx. That's fantastic. I love the little hips going. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm not really envious of Mila's uniform and Sienna's. I think the whole miniskirt, my legs aren't bad. I could pull it off. I've got the short end of the stick. I've got the uniform that I'm wearing, you know, it's very bulky and big. It doesn't really show off my assets.
I'd like to be able to be a hotshot like her. I'd like to dress up sexily every day and have great makeup and hair every minute. It's not always possible, but that's what the movies are for.
The most exciting thing in this film is the metamorphosis of Mila Jovovich into an unstoppable killing machine.
She would train 3 or 4 hours a day, sometimes 5 hours a day. We had her training with a couple of top martial artists.
She physically was just in condition. She was just cut. Her muscles were just rippled. I was looking at thinking, damn, I need to work out.
You really believe her as this evolving super weapon, which is what her character is.
I'm most impressed with is Mila's work as far as the fight scenes that she's doing. She does some unbelievable things in this movie. Fighting the hugest creature, doing incredible feat with guns and knives and sticks and riding motorcycles and jumping through windows. Unbelievable stuff.
Move! Mila's complete dedication were behind her 100%.
One more time.
She worked with unbelievable diligence and just enormous energy.
My body's definitely taken a beating on this because I don't have the 14 years ahead to get to this level, to do the back heel spin kick and the super jump backwards side kick. I'm like, okay, whatever.
We started getting used to each other before we came to shooting it. As far as her size and my size, I mean, I can adjust. Just from martial arts training, you train with people of all sizes. That wouldn't really was a problem for her. It definitely wasn't a problem for me.
Wonderful, sweet Matt. He's so sweet with me because he makes me feel like the toughest girl in the world, man. Like, I'll be, like, rehearsing the Nemesis fight with Matt, and I'm just like, and then I'm like, yeah. That's right, Matt.
Sienna has been working extremely hard as well, really getting fit, weapons training and all these things.
I've been working with a personal trainer for an hour every day, running for an hour every day, and doing commando training and a mixture of martial arts as well. It took about 2 weeks to get a bit of muscle. I'm like, where is it? A little bit of muscle definition.
This job is not for everybody. It's not for the weak at heart. I've never made a movie that had action in it that I didn't get clobbered. The scene, I have to run shooting the Nemesis. During the rehearsal, I said just run up to the crate and stop on the crate. As I'm approaching the crate, I realized that running at top speed, there was just no way I'm going to be able to stop on the crate. And I thought, well, what's going to happen is I'm going to try and stop and I'm going to fly head first into the oven. And that's not good. I jump up onto the oven, and of course, as soon as my foot touches the surface, it just goes, and I completely wiped out. Did you at least get that on film? It was one of those, like, silent pain moments that it was, like, so painful that I couldn't do anything. Just have to try not to cry at that point. What time is it?
We've been shooting nights for, like, a couple of months now.
Just the lack of sunlight, it can make you really, really drained. And then you get home, you're trying to sleep, and the sun's coming in the windows, and you can hear birds tweeting outside, and you know it's a beautiful day, and you want to, like, get up and run around and do stuff, and you can't because you have to sleep, because you have to get up and work when it's night. I think we should be out of here by sunrise. I look at those days in the first Resident Evil, and I go, so what, we were working 16 hours a day? At least we were in studio. Like, I thought it was so hard then. But, like, there was no wind chill factor. You ready?
It's very cold out here in Toronto. And these girls are wearing practically nothing. It's always difficult because I can't really stand next to them going, God, my arms are freezing. Because they're not wearing anything. I mean, they are so freezing cold.
And it's freezing, and it's raining, and the wind, and I'm in my little net top, and my belly is showing, and my leg is exposed, and I'm like, I did this to myself. I asked for it to be a heat wave in Raccoon City. Thank you, Mila. Thank you. You really did it this time. These action films, man, they're hard. I've been freezing, wounded, bleeding. It's a wonder that I haven't gotten sick, and the only reason I haven't is because every night I go to sleep, I say in a clear, loud voice, you will not get sick. I'm not contagious. I think it's just willpower alone. Run. Just go! But it's cool. I mean, listen, if this was easy, more people would be doing it. It's hard, it's crazy, it takes a lot of patience and a lot of love and a lot of preparation. But you know what? It's worth it.